radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. How you doing? Oh, that's great. Today's Thursday, May 17th, 2018. 136 days into the new year, just 229 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? It's Thursday. Yeah. Jon Rappoport here with his No More Fake Newsroom live. Followed by open lines all night long. But you already knew that. I'm looking at the Spaceballs gifts here, and I'm going to let you know. Last week, Rita and I surfing, and we bust a move over to, I don't know if it was Netflix or Amazon Prime, but right across the top of the screen, right there, Spaceballs. And I turn to Rita, I go, do we? She goes, we do. And we watch Spaceballs. We have it in our video library. We've got the collector's edition on DVD. We've got I've got the Spaceballs widescreen director's cut on VHS. And we still just we sat and we watched it from beginning to end. And there you go. Druidia. Yeah. All right. It's open lines all night long. We're going to have Jon Rappoport here at the bottom of the hour. All right. And let's get things moving right along. So we're going to have Jon here with his No More Fake Newsroom live. And then followed by open lines, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. You can follow us now. You can go to onstellar.com, where we've got a Game Changer page over there. We've got a Fade to Black page over there. We've got my page over there. Rita has got her page. So you can go over there right now and follow us and like us and message us and go and post and write over at onstellar.com. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. While Facebook is still alive, you can check us out over there too as well. The radio page is going to stay up for a little bit. I'm not friending anybody or doing anything like that on my personal page. It's just kind of static at the moment. But you can also subscribe over at YouTube. Everything is Jimmy Church or Fade to Black. Simple enough to find. And, of course, at JChurchRadio on Twitter. The Sandbox on Twitter is hashtag F2B. If you want to come and hang out with us, especially on a Thursday night, it's great any night. That's my favorite scene right there, ludicrous speed, and Rita. So Rita and I, we had a bunch of movie munchies, junk food, and we're in bed, and that scene pops up, the ludicrous scene, speed. And when, Lone Star cruises overhead with Barf, and who was that? That was Lone Star. He's at Lightspeed. Can't we go any faster? And can't this thing go any faster? And so that scene, and I said to Rita, this is the funniest scene in cinema history. Put the food down. She was like, what? Pay attention. Give me 5 minutes. It was so funny. And you cannot help it. You just laugh through that entire scene all the way to the end. Smoke him if you got him. And thank you for posting that, Mark. That's a great scene. Rick Moranis, he chose to retire from Hollywood. It's a pretty crazy story when it comes to him. So anyway, hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Come and hang out with us there on Twitter. And of course, we have the chat rooms over at Spreaker and KGRA. The Planet. Got breaking news. You can now check out episode 5 of Magical Egypt 2. It's been released. And the much anticipated episode and companion are out. And you can check out the trailer right now. It is called, episode 5 is called Why All the Snakes? Now, you've got to go check it out. The symbolism of the snake in ancient Egypt and throughout the ancient world. It's a real eye-opener. So you can go and check that out now, magicalegypt.com. And the trailer is there, and the trailer is also on YouTube. And I'll see if I can get some links up for that. I'll do it when Rappoport comes in when I have some time. And I hope you are enjoying On Stellar. The updates that have been going on, first we had the major one with the news feed and all of the stuff that was included in that package. But this is insanity, how cool it is. So if you haven't checked out On Stellar, it's onstellar.com. We are quickly, as promised, man, I will definitely put my money where my mouth is, moving off of Facebook. I have no reason. And I know that there are people over on Facebook that are great, and we friendships, and they're posting stuff, and I understand that, but I don't have the attraction anymore. It's not there for me. It's not. Sad. I literally spent 1 minute on Facebook today. 1 minute just to check on private messages to see if anything came in, because I already took everything off of my phone. So funny. MUFON sent out an email today. I don't know if you've caught it. MUFON sends out an email that says, hey, come join us on Facebook Messenger. This is a test. I'm not kidding. And it's, where is it? Right here. It says, MUFON is now on Facebook Messenger. Facebook Messenger is still very new to us, and we could use a bunch of testers. I was like, what? MUFON, it's 2018. You're a little late to that party, and I just died laughing. If they only knew. Well, they do know. I spoke to Jan about On Stellar and, how it's the future of everything. Anyway, so onstellar.com, go and register, go and hang out, write some articles, get posted, get recognized, make some friends. It is just an amazing place to go and hang out. No advertising, no data mining, no intrusions, nothing like that. No corporate overlords. And sure, we're in beta testing now, and we're still working out bugs and things. But the platform itself is running. There's little things here and there where just every single day things are getting fixed. But it's running. It's great. It's amazing. There are thousands and thousands of people over there right now. Go over to OnStellar, get registered, and see what all of this fuss is all about. All right. Now, coming up, 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks from today, we will be at Contact in the Desert, June 1st through the 4th. In Indian Wells, Palm Springs at the Renaissance Resort and Spa. We will be taking Thursday night off, so we will not have a show. No Fadernight on that Thursday. It will be Wheels Up, and we're heading out to Palm Springs, and we'll see all of you there. Contact in the Desert. Couple of announcements. We will be, yes, we're going to broadcast Friday night, Fade to Black, in front of a studio audience like we do every year. Then on Saturday, Rita and I will be attending the George Norrie Luncheon, and so come and hang out with us there. Yes, have lunch, break bread with Rita and I, and come over and hang out at our table, and we'll be doing that on Saturday. Also on Saturday, the awards dinner, which is sold out, by the way. So we'll be there, so if you've already made your arrangements for that, we will be there for the awards dinner. And then also Saturday night, I've got to break away from the awards dinner because I'll be hosting the Big Magic Show Gala over in the auditorium. And so I'll get the show started over there, and then I'll be back for the awards dinner. And I'll be able to sit down and finish my dinner with all of you. So that'll be, and then after that, of course, going to go out to the Sky Watch and hang out with all the Fadernauts out there Saturday. Okay, so, and then Sunday, of course, I'll be doing the closing ceremonies, hosting that, and the panel, the UFO panel on Sunday evening. And we have, on the panel, it's really cool. We've got Corey Good, Richard Dolan, Brad Olson, Jason Quitt, and then I have not one, not two, but three surprise guests. That's right. And that will be on Sunday night. It's going to be a great, great event this year. It's gotten bigger and better every single year. I remember the first year we were there, and as great as it was, and it was so much fun and so many people, and it was just amazing. We just a great time. Thought, how can it get better? We went back, and it, just bigger and better, and back again, and bigger and better, back again, bigger, and here we are this year, and this is gonna prove to be the biggest and best yet at the Renaissance Resort and Spa. Don't forget to sign up. It's coming up quickly here too as well, for our Soul Tech gathering at ECETI Ranch this August 9th through the 12th. Just go to soultechgathering.com. Corey Good's going to be there. James Gilliland's going to speak. Jason Quitt, Matthew Ryan, Michaela Sheldon, Teresa Yaranis, Holly Marie, Mary Gabriel. Ashley's going to speak. John Lund, Dana Harvey. We've got music, fun, events. We've got the Sky Watch that's going on each night out at the Field of Dreams, and it's ECETI. It's just an amazing, magical place. We are going to teach all weekend long, and I'm serious about this. You hear me talking about ECETI all the time. It's massive, right? It's ginormous, and one of the great things that you will find yourself doing all the time is you're going to get up and walk. You're going to head out somewhere on the ranch, and you're just going to go and explore and go do your thing. It's incredible. It's incredible. And and I'm serious too. We would be sitting there. It's just like, let's go. Let's walk out to the middle of the Field of Dreams. There's a place to meditate out there, right in the middle. Go do that. Go to the medicine wheel. Head out into the woods. Go out back. Go by the lake, and just walk around and enjoy the nature. And you never know what's going to happen, And it's just, you have those moments, by yourself out there. It's so tranquil and peaceful, except for my loud voice, which I'm sure resonates throughout the acreage. But you'll always know where to find me. But that's one of the cool things about ECETI. So come and hang out with us. 4 days, August 9th through the 12th. soultechgathering.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We have over 850 archive shows, Apple, Android, all platforms, just $2 a month. And you can also, if you'd like, become a Fadernight over in our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Get the bunker cam. That's right. You can get commercial-free downloadable archives. You get an email to me, private email, by the way, only for you. You get autographed hats and T-shirts, and just go and become a Fadernight today. All right, it's very simple. All of our sponsors here have been with us for a very long time. Life Change Tea, GetTheTea.com, River Moon Coffee, Ancient Life Oil, Sacred Skulls, and Numana Food Storage, and, of course, Bearing Optics. Now, we've got a big announcement. I was going to wait. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to save the details for Monday, but I want to do this because I want to watch Twitter light up as I speak these words. Are you guys ready? River Moon Coffee and Fade to Black have teamed up, and we are about to launch. Are you ready? Fade to Black blend infused with CBD. That's right. The beans. You need to think about what I just said. Secret formulations, scientists, all of that stuff had to come into play to perfect it. Details on Monday. Yeah. We need to come up with a cool name. Rita. Oh, I think Rita's on a conference call back to Washington, D.C. right now, so she's not even listening to me. But, I'll now that I've announced it to you, okay, let's come up with a name. And I know that River Moon Coffee, Jeff and Juanita are listening to me right now. And Jeff might be rehearsing with Mick and the boys right now and the Stones. But if they're not in rehearsal and they are listening to us, we need to come up with a name. The Dankest Coffee. I know, right? So, okay, Fade to Black blend infused with CBD, high grade too. So what do we name it? What do we name it? CB Dark. That's good. Who did that? Tanette Booth? Tanette, is that yours? Did you come up with that all on your own? CB Dark? That is well done. Okay, who can top that? Who the Fadernight blend? Okay, all right. Look, the the end zone, the goalpost just got moved. CB Dark. CB Dark. That's good. That's good. Okay, all right. Now we got to top that. Yeah, Tanette says that's all hers. Man. Oh, that is amazing. Tanette, Fade to Green. Fade to Black 420. Janine, you don't know nothing about no marijuana. I've met you, Janine. Fade to Black 420. That's really good. Yeah, okay. I like Fade CB Dark. CB Dark. That's really, really good. CB Dark. That's a tough one. You guys got to bring your A game. All right? Fade to Black 420, Janine. Janine, I'm going to test your marijuana knowledge one day. We'll see. You need to back that up, Janine. Canna Blend. Oh, CB Dark. I bow to CB Dark. Yeah, that's tough. That's fade to CBD. Canna Brew. Yeah, I know, right? And remember, these are infused beans. All right, look, it's I just looked up at the studio clock, 4:20. You like that? You like that? Okay, let's go. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Enya is 57. 100 million records sold. No live concert ever. How do you do that? She lives in a castle, owns half of Ireland, never played live. There you go. Our dead guy's birthday today is, and I do need a moment of silence, please. Bill Paxton, 1955 to 2017, died at the young age of 61. Of course, Apollo 13, Twister, Big Love, Thunderbirds, True Lies, Aliens, Titanic. But for me, he will always be Chet in Weird Science. On February 25th, 2017, Paxton died at the age of 61. His official cause of death was a stroke caused by complications after a heart valve and aorta surgery he underwent on February 14th, 2017. Happy birthday, Bill Paxton. On this day in history, 1970, big one. I remember this day. I do. Janine says, I've been using medical marijuana since 2005. I make a mean vapor blend with cannabis and other herbs. Mainly now, I just use the vape pen. Janine, I knew you were that cool. I was just testing you. I wanted to know about that 420 knowledge. Janine. All right, 1970. Do you remember this? I do. Norwegian Thor Heyerdahl and his crew set out from Morocco across the Atlantic Ocean in the Ra 2, a papyrus craft modeled after ancient Egyptian sailing vessels. The Ra 2 crossed the 4,000 miles of ocean to Barbados in just 57 days. Limped into Barbados, too. Great documentary. You know, one it was sinking. It was so water, but it made it. It made it. On this day in 1970, they set off. Fader fact. Now, I talked about this. This was brought up quite controversial 4 or 5 years ago here on Fade to Black. So I wanted to revisit it today. The Statue of Liberty was intended for, wait for it, Egypt. The original plan was to build Progress, or Egypt carrying the light to Asia. It was going to be a huge lighthouse in the form of an ancient Egyptian female, robed and holding the torch aloft at the northern entrance to the Suez Canal in Port Said. That's right. The United States was second choice. And that is a Fader fact. Tonight, Jon Rappoport is here. There's no more Fake Newsroom Live, followed by open lines all night long. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Now, I wanted to take a few minutes before John gets here to talk about something that came up on the show a few times this week. And I do want to discuss it tonight on the show. One of the things that I do, and I research. I constantly research. I'm constantly reading. I've got a tons of books and research materials and videos and DVDs and, of course, the internet. And I'm constantly moving things forward. I'm in constant research mode. And when I do that, I like to go and research and review the past. I like to look at old research materials. I like to look at documentaries and films that were made in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 70s, in the 80s to gauge where we are today. What were the researchers talking about when it comes to UFO, right? when it comes to Egypt, when it comes to life after death, consciousness, all of the science in general, space, the universe, and use it, that barometer, for where we are today. And I have to say this. When it comes to the universe, stars, our solar system, our galaxy, the Milky Way, our knowledge now today, just from the 90s to today, has gone so far. It's incredible. Our knowledge of the UFO subject has come so far. Our knowledge of Egypt has come so far. And today, even though we're still looking for answers, life is built on that. Life is built for one thing, to go and seek knowledge. We need to find out those three things. Where do we come from? How do we get here? And where are we going? And everything that we do here on this show, the show is fun, it's entertaining. We talk about all of those subjects, but that we love. But the most important thing is trying to figure out those three questions, because they apply to everything and every guest and every moment of your life. We've been trying to figure this out forever. And forever is a long time. I love saying it. Forever is a long time. But I assure you, 3,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago, we were wondering all of this. Where did we come from? How did we get here? Where are we going? It's what this show is about. Tonight, I want to discuss that with all of you. Where do you think we are today? Are you getting your questions answered? Is it endless to you, or do you feel better today? Wow. Compared to where I was 20 years ago, today I feel pretty good. Those questions are slowly getting knocked down. You're just knocking them down one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. And it doesn't seem like much that it's all happening all at one time. It's just one step. One step at a time. One step. That's it. One step. And then after you complete and you keep moving forward, you turn around and you look and you go, look at all of that we have done, everything that we have accomplished. And then you can start to see things in its totality. Because I feel great today. I know that I'm enjoying trying to figure all of this out with all of you. But that's the game. Where did we come from? How did we get here? And where are we going? That's what we do. And this is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, and we're going to do that all night tonight, because Jon Rappoport's going to be here in a couple of minutes with his No More Fake Newsroom Live to kick off the night, and then we go to open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. It's Fade to Black. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Go and find us on onstellar.com. It's Fade to Black. It's Jimmy Church. It's the Game Changer Network. Go find Rita. We're all there at OnStellar. I'll be right back with Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom live. Stay with us.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
What can I say about the most popular tea on the internet? And what do customers say about Life Change Tea at getthetea.com? A lot. But by federal law, we at getthetea.com cannot make claims to how this product can enhance your health. We cannot even post our testimonies without being in compliance. So how do we get past the hump? Try our products at getthetea.com and see for yourself. You can send us a testimony, but we just can't post it. Bummer. Our products are GMO-free and organic. We pride ourselves in being the best we can be, and we urge you to take charge of your health. We're 11 years strong, and many of our customers have shared their successes with friends and family. Protect your colon. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. Getthetea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at kgraradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. kgraradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Manson. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake Newsroom in deep space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world as it is fed to us every day by the Ministry of Truth is a lie, a false reality, a movie projected on the screen of our subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day. A new day. No more robots, no more androids. It's the No More Fake Newsroom with Jon Rappoport. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much. Good to be here, folks. So let's see. Tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about reporting the news, and what it actually takes to report the news. I'm going to take you on a little logic trip. I'm not going to make it boring, I don't think. I think it'll be interesting. What are the questions that a reporter should be asking that would lead him or her deeper into a story to find out what's actually going on? The questions that most mainstream reporters never ask. They stop short for many different reasons, but mostly because they're in a harness. They're not permitted to ask further questions. And so they get used to that. And after a while, you know, it's like the old story about the prisoner who's been in a cell for a long time and somebody leaves the door open and he doesn't walk out because he's institutionalized. Well, reporters get institutionalized in that way as well. So What I've done here is I've chosen an article that I wrote this week called Two Huge Vaccine Scandals the Press is Ignoring. And I'm going to go through it. I'm going to read from the article. I'm going to comment, and you'll see what I mean here about asking the next question and then following that, using logic and figuring out what is going on. So the first scandal revolves around the flu vaccine for the current year. The CDC and other experts have admitted the vaccine has a very low effectiveness rate. Low effectiveness rate. That means it's not doing well. Why? Because we're told the vaccine is produced using chicken eggs. And in that medium, the flu virus, which is intentionally placed in the eggs, mutates. Therefore, it isn't the same virus which is causing the flu this year. Therefore, no protection against the flu. And in Australia, experts are saying that this year's flu shot might be only 10% effective. And why? Because the majority of flu vaccines are made in eggs, meaning chicken eggs. So, first of all, what does that mean? The vaccine is made in chicken eggs. Well, every vaccine carries a germ that's intentionally placed in the vaccine. Put there on purpose. Let's get that straight, okay? Why? Because as the theory goes, this virus, say, placed in a vaccine, will stimulate a person's immune system when they get the shot. Wake up the immune system to cause a little reaction. Nothing harmful, mind you, certainly not. But it's kind of rehearsal. So that when the real flu virus comes along in the wild, the immune system will be prepared from that rehearsal to defeat the virus and keep the person from getting the flu. That's the theory. And every year, the CDC and the World Health Organization decide, well, which flu virus do we think out of the many that are out there in the wild is going to be the one that's going to cause people to get the flu? And they choose one. We think this is it. And that's the virus they put in the vaccine to cause the rehearsal of the immune system. But this year's, it's not working. Very bad. Everybody admits it, even in the mainstream. And why? Again, because when you put that virus into chicken eggs, which is the way many flu vaccines are manufactured, gee whiz, that virus mutates right there in the chicken eggs. So by the time anybody gets shot up with the vaccine, it ain't the same virus that is supposedly causing all kinds of people to get sick this year. So it doesn't work. And that's the end of the story for the mainstream. See, that's as far as they go. They don't go any further, except to say people should still get the vaccine, right? Which is a whole other piece of propaganda. But as far as the reporting is concerned, that's the end of the story. And most people who read that story don't think about it at all. Nothing. That's it. If they read the story, they accept it. Like a burger somebody brings you in a restaurant, the customer eats it. That's it. The reader doesn't go any further, and the reporter doesn't go any further. But I certainly wanted to go further. because I ask the question, is this just about this year, 2017, 2018? The business with the chicken eggs and the mutating virus, is it just this year that this unfortunate circumstance has occurred, making the vaccine only 10% effective? That's where you get to a deeper level of the story. That's not a question that mainstream reporters are asking. Okay? Not asking at all, not even thinking about it. I'm asking it. So I look at various authoritative sources, and here's one called healthline.com, and I'm quoting now. The majority of flu vaccines are grown in chicken eggs, a method of vaccine development that's been used for 70 years. 70 years. Now, do you see the point? Do you see the point? You should. You should at this point go, wow, aha, wow. And if you aren't going, wow, aha, you need to study a little, maybe logic, something. Because that's essentially admitting that for the last 70 years, the flu virus that they put in the vaccine has been mutating every single year because it's been made in chicken eggs. Same problem they're experiencing this year. Same problem for the last 70 years. Therefore, there's virtually no chance that the virus in the vaccine matches any year's virus that's out there in the wild that is supposedly causing people to get the flu. A mismatch for the last 70 years. Therefore, very low effectiveness for the last 70 years. Of course, they wouldn't admit that. Flu vaccine is fantastic, great, tremendous effectiveness and whatever. But no. Couldn't be true. Couldn't be true. Because the same problem they're having this year with the mutating virus in the vaccine would be the same problem they've had for the last 70 years since the cause, chicken eggs, has been used for the last 70 years. And now we come to a crashing collision of points of view, which we don't find in any mainstream stories. It's not there. Just isn't there. In fact, as far as I know, I'm the only person bringing this up anywhere. Get it? You understand what we're dealing with here? On the one hand, experts are saying this flu vaccine is extremely effective and has been for a very, very long time. Occasionally, we get it wrong like we did this year, but it's a tremendous, tremendous vaccine. Very important. Everybody should get it. Really? For the last 70 years, by your own admission, by implication, it's been terribly, terribly ineffective. Collision, absurdity, insanity. What's going on? Well, there's a little window into what happens and what is the differences between major media and somebody who is reporting that's asking a significant question that major media will not ask, will not, cannot, won't ask. Becomes a whole different story, you see. It's like an elevator that's smoothly going down floors and all of a sudden it drops 15 floors at once. That's the difference between mainstream reporting this story and what I'm telling you now. And if you've got a few logical tools and you've got a sharp head on your shoulder, you can see it. It's there. This is the actual story that I'm giving you, not the mainstream story. And you might say, but I mean, it couldn't be true what you're saying, because if it were true, that would mean, yes, that's right. That's exactly what it means. So don't let yourself be boggled to the point where you say that couldn't be true, because if it were, that would mean that the whole thing is a scam. No. Just take that out of your repertoire. Take that thing out where you say that couldn't be true, because if it were, the whole thing is a scam. No, just look straight at it and see what the story really is. Second, magnificent. It's a little more complicated, but it's the same idea. In the Philippines, they're having a tremendous scandal. The manufacturer of the vaccine is called Sanofi, and they have a vaccine supposedly prevents dengue fever. Okay, except after thousands of children already received the shot, the government there stopped the whole vaccine campaign because of severe vaccine injuries. Severe. Big scandal. Major. It keeps unfolding and unfolding month after month. Okay. Now I'm quoting a mainstream article here, which you can see at No More Fake News if you read my whole article. Quote, the Philippines stopped vaccinations shortly after the company, that's Sanofi, warned that Dengvaxia, that's the vaccine, can cause more serious infections in those who previously hadn't had exposure to the virus, meaning the dengue virus. Blah, blah, blah. And then I write, did you get that? The company itself warned that the vaccine might not be safe. The company, right? Okay. And this mainstream article even goes further and says the Philippine Department of Health didn't heed warnings from an advisory group of doctors and pharmacologists who concluded early last year that the vaccine's safety and efficacy were unproven. Unproven. My. But I want to even go deeper here, and this is where, once again, mainstream media cut off. They go no further. They will not consider really looking at what they've got in their hands. But I will certainly look at it. I will certainly look at it. So let's go back, because Sanofi, the manufacturer, said a very curious thing. And we're going to analyze that now. Sanofi is saying the vaccine for dengue fever might be dangerous for those who haven't been exposed to the dengue virus before getting the shot, the vaccine. What does that mean? What in the world does that statement mean? Sanofi is saying the vaccine might be dangerous for those who haven't been exposed to the dengue virus before getting the shot. Now, I would say that probably, let's say 49,999 people out of 50,000 would not stop at that point and try to figure out what this statement means that I just read to you. So I'm going to tell you what it means. And here I'm quoting from my article. I'm going to read a few paragraphs, and then I'm going to go back and explain it even more simply. That statement from Sanofi means a child who had naturally come in contact with the dengue virus would have developed his own antibodies to it, and later those antibodies would protect him against the dengue virus in the vaccine. Otherwise, the virus in the vaccine could give him a case of dengue fever or cause some other form of damage. And that is saying, if a child is already immune to dengue fever because his immune system has successfully dealt with the virus in the real world, then the vaccine won't damage him. And that is saying, if the child has naturally developed an immunity to dengue fever, then the vaccine, which he doesn't need because he's already immune, won't harm him. Boom, bang, pow, crash, smash. Now, let's just go back here for a minute. Vaccine theory again. In the wild, if a person comes in contact with a virus that could cause a disease, his immune system will swing into action. For example, it will produce antibodies, which are scouts of the immune system. They go through the body and they say, ooh, look at that. There's a dengue virus. That could be bad. So let's go attach ourselves to that, send a signal back to the real soldiers of the immune system so that they see the signal and they come and they destroy or expel this dengue virus. That's what antibodies do. And when they do it, the person is said to be immune. Didn't get the disease, or in this case, the immune system warded it off, and he's fine now. And he's immune to dengue fever. That's the theory, okay? We've discussed before on the show, and the whole other story is whether that theory is even correct. But that is the theory, okay? So when Sanofi says, let's go back and read that little sentence again. The vaccine can cause more serious infections in those who previously hadn't had exposure to the virus. That means they didn't get exposed to it in the wild, naturally. That means if they did get exposed to it, they'll be in good shape when they take the vaccine because their antibodies in the wild naturally already rejected the dengue virus, and so their antibodies and their immune system will reject the dengue virus that's intentionally planted in the vaccine. And then they'll be okay. But if they hadn't had that exposure already and become immune naturally to the virus, then the vaccine, unfortunately, could give them a case of dengue fever or some other serious, horrendous infection. Beginning to see the point here as the clouds part and the light comes in? This is where mainstream doesn't go. It doesn't analyze these statements made by officials to see if there's something insane about them, something contradictory, something bizarre and crazy, as there is in this case, as I've just explained. Mainstream cuts off at that point. I read you a quote from a mainstream source about what the manufacturer Sanofi said, and that mainstream source just sailed past it, never asked what it was all about, never tried to figure out what the manufacturer was talking about. Why? Why would those who hadn't been exposed to the dengue virus in the wild naturally be at risk if they got the vaccine? Why? Why? Nobody's asking that in the mainstream. And again, to my knowledge, nobody anywhere has asked that question except yours truly. Just a fact. It's the way it is. Getting the point here. When you read mainstream news and you begin to screw your brain in real tight and look and see and ask questions, the questions that go beyond where mainstream cuts off, you find out some very interesting things. And those very interesting things change your view not only of the news, but of reality. The reality that is occurring in our world right now. That's the point. That's what you want to be able to do. You don't want to just skate past these bizarre statements. You don't want to fail to ask the question, well, wait a minute, chicken eggs are causing the flu virus to mutate when the vaccine's being manufactured, and this is just a problem this year? Wait a minute. How long have they been using these chicken eggs to make the flu vaccine? That's the question you want to ask. You want to be able to ask that question and find the answer. And when you do, everything is different. You thought you were staying in a 5-star hotel, but you're in a motel out in the middle of the desert. You know? Okay. That's the reality. You punched a hole in mainstream reality making, and you saw something behind it. That's what you want to be able to do. And that's my report for tonight.
Excellent, John. Very thought-provoking. But now I've got a question for you. May I?
Please.
Okay. Is there a mainstream outlet, barring the internet, but a mainstream newspaper in any city or news outlet, television, radio, that does not have a CIA handler or influence?
I don't know. I would assume that most of them do, from everything that I've investigated in the past. But you see, it's not exactly that point. It's not, yes, that's important. What I'm saying is that the reporters themselves are so institutionalized, like trained dogs, that they don't need a CIA asset. Right. Whether or not he's there, sure, if he's there, he's going to be keeping an eye on something like this because he doesn't want to let the dog out of the bag. But if he's not there, it doesn't really matter because, and I've talked to these people over the years, believe me, they have dumbed themselves down so much that they don't even need a minder.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It is incredible.
You know, when I asked different people in the media, you and I have talked about this before, but when I've talked to professionals in the media about stepping outside of the box, they look at you like you're crazy. You know, no, you can't do that. You can't. Yeah. You want a paycheck. You know, and that's what it comes down to. It's their job security, and they immediately conform, and they get dumbed down, and they get so used to the system and so acclimated that they play the safe card, you know, throughout their career. It's the courageous ones that are so few.
And they keep playing the safe card so often that after a while, they wouldn't be able to ask the question that breaks open the story, even if they wanted to. Right.
Amazing. It is. It's truly amazing. And that's why you do what you do. And every week I thank you, John, and I'm being serious about that. You know, you are able to to go out there and report and free form improvise like Miles Davis, you know, and you don't care. You just play the notes that you feel that need to be played. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jimmy. Always great to be here.
You're the best, John. Jon Rappoport, everybody. And again, start off your day every single day at nomorefakenews.com. All right, let's go. It's Fadernight. It's Thursday night. Open lines are next. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Twitter's on fire. You can follow me there at JChurchRadio. I'll be right back. Stay with me.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. Dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly Ancient Life Oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader nights. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Programming note I'm very excited about. On Monday, we are going to have a Nobel Prize winner. That's right, on Fade to Black. And I cannot wait. Just wait until you see what we have in store for Monday. Absolutely incredible. We've got a great week lined up next week, too, as well. Lots to talk about tonight. Now, I set it up for everybody earlier in the show, which is this. Where are we today? Where did we come from? Where are we now? How did we get here? And where are we going to? And I think that we have made ginormous strides in our community around the world. We've got lots of holes we need to fill in the educational system about our history and about the truth. But we're answering those questions here on this program. And our search for the truth is something that we do every day. It's a difficult one. It's difficult. It's not easy. And I like to have fun doing it. And so if that's my attitude out there, I know I'm not alone. I like to have fun. I like to hang out. I love the ceremony of dinner with friends and going late into the night with deep conversations with different points of view coming at me from around the table. And getting into deep arguments because everybody is trying to figure this out, and I try to get that into this program. That same attitude, having guests here every single night, and where we're able to just sit around and contemplate and ponder and discuss and talk. Openly about these subjects. So, and about everything, whether you're talking about time travel or life after death. By the way, speaking of that, no matter what you're talking about, time travel or life after death, the same questions you can apply right there. And so who is craving Mongolian beef? That is the subject in the sandbox tonight, apparently. Now, watched a movie last night with Robert Redford. And Rita, what was the name of that movie? Oh, I knew I was going to do that. I forgot the name of the movie already. What was the name of the movie we saw last night with Robert Redford about life after death? Just an incredible movie. Anyway, the questions that were presented throughout the movie last night, it was like Fade to Black. And it was really, really, really cool. It was a Netflix original. It was on Netflix. Rita, I'm watching. I'm waiting for the movie. Maybe somebody will pop this up on Twitter. It's a brand new flick on Netflix. So with that, let's open up the phone lines. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. First up tonight, who's calling?
This is Inquire Within.
Inquire Within. How's the band?
Oh, yes. It's going good, as in it's just me right now, but I'm doing good.
And the stuff is really, really cool. Tell everybody really quick where they can go, well, obviously on Stellar, but where can everybody go and watch your videos and listen to your music?
All right. Well, the big demon Facebook right now has a lot of my stuff, and then I've been off Facebook for almost a year. I just got back on it a couple months ago because I realized that in the music world, you still kind of need it to reach people. I've been on Instagram a lot, but on Stellar, that's my baby now.
Yeah, you're doing really good over there, but you have a huge fan base, and so you kind of are you feeling the same pain that I am, where you probably got 100,000 fans over, and I'm not exaggerating, over on your Facebook page, and you can't abandon them. You know what I mean? They got you to where you are, so you can't. Do you feel a little guilt about that? Do you still have to go back and pay a little bit of attention, or are you just inviting everybody over to On Stellar?
I've started to invite people over to On Stellar. I don't think I'll ever quite totally get off of Facebook, just because that is where the bulk of the people are, and I need them to see what I'm doing. And then also, I try to be, in the disclosure world, my goal is to be more of a bridge. And so, like with the lyrical content, the videos, and all the stuff I have coming out this year, Facebook will probably be the primary thing I market on.
Right.
But that's just because I try to reach people that haven't been introduced to a lot of these topics. And I'm not an expert in many of these topics, but through the videos I'm making right now and the lyrics I'm writing, I'm trying to just guide people to the sources that will better educate them on that, and then they can kind of find the truth from there.
If you don't mind, I know that a little bit about me and how my mind works, but this is the first time that you've called into the show, so I've got questions for you. Can I go?
Can I go? Interesting. Go for it.
Okay. First off, I've spent a lot of time listening to your stuff. And there's a couple of things that I really enjoy about you. You have different styles. It's like, the production and the composition and what it's about it's almost like the moment. And then you go off into what inspires you, to have these, these different types of, I'm a musician. I've produced many bands. This is what I do. So when I hear something, I pick it apart, and for you, I see the creativity seems more like in the moment, and you just go for it. Is that what's happening with your stuff?
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely what's happening with the stuff I'm writing right now. For that first album, the stuff that you've heard, that was the first musical thing I've done that wasn't straight brutal death metal.
Right.
I spent about 10 years doing nothing but the heaviest, most evil music I could possibly make.
Right.
And then I chilled out a bit, had some crazy life experiences, and came across stuff like you and Coast to Coast, David Wilcock, all that stuff. And I decided also musically to branch out. And so I had never tried singing regularly other than like the insane guttural stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so for that first album, a lot of the inspiration and noise came from the musicians I worked with. I had people from Africa come and do drums. I had people from Spain do violin, and I think there was like people from 7 different countries came in to help me out with this. And so I just kind of had a rough idea of what I wanted and flowed from there.
What do you think about, and when I hear you talk about that, because if you're a good musician, if you understand what it takes to, craft a song and you've got a grip on that, you can jump into any style and you also appreciate all styles. And I just went out to dinner. Wilcock and I went out to dinner with Peter Takarin of Hypocrisy, and Peter, his bands like Hypocrisy or Pain are totally different bands. And then he's got, Roadhouse, which is a straight blues band, and he's got these different styles too. And I could see Peter going off into completely different areas too as well. And still have, your metal roots. And is that, when I say things like that for the audience, that's exactly what's going on, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's funny that you bring up Hypocrisy, because I've had a lot of people message me about Hypocrisy, because I hadn't checked them out before until I put out that first album.
Right.
And then I was YouTube searching my own band, and it's Inquire Within. Hypocrisy has a song called Inquire Within.
That's
and
right.
That was the thing that kept popping up above my stuff. So I was like, oh, what is this? And then I was like, oh, man, I should have found that a long time ago. And then I put out a music video for my song Dimensional Bleed Through. And then I realized, oh, geez, these guys have a song called that also. And so now everyone's probably thinking I'm just out there trying to ride the coattails of hypocrisy. But, man, that End of Disclosure song they put out, that's what got me to be a big fan.
Peter, his knowledge of all things supernatural and paranormal, and it doesn't matter if it's life after death or life on Mars or disclosure, or it doesn't. His secret space program, you should hear. He knows it all, man, and he really is a student of us, of our world, and for him to turn around and make these videos and write these songs, he's not telephoning it in. It's because this is what inspires him now, and I see that in your stuff too. When you start to approach a song, what comes first? Is it the music, or is it a subject?
It's typically a subject. I for the most part, I'll write the lyrics first, and then, because I play guitar and I've taken enough classes to be able to write music, but singing is 90% of what I put my time towards, and writing. And so I typically will write the lyrics first and then write all the vocals, and I'll record the vocals and then write all the music around the voice.
Mm-hmm. What's your rig? Pro Tools?
I bounce between Cubase and FL Studio.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I'm an Adobe Audition guy, and I did Pro Tools forever with Rudy Sarzo in our studio over there that we had together, and the thought of dropping $10,000 every year or two on a Pro Tools rig, for the hardware and everything else. It was just like, man, and I got everything I needed out of Audition. And so, you're right. The software these days is getting so good that you can just run with what you're comfortable with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I like Pro Tools. The only reason I ever wanted it is because I knew that's what everyone was using. But then I realized how much it cost and how much I can do with everything else nowadays. It's like that whole first album that was recorded basically in my bedroom, aside from the session musicians, and then a lot of them just recorded at their houses. And so nowadays you can get a full professional level sound out of your room.
What was the life-changing event for you that started to get you to focus in on this community, the paranormal and the supernatural and everything that encompasses? Did you have a sighting? Did you get a visitation? What happened?
What really got me into it was death in my family. One morning I woke up to go to work, but I just had this crazy feeling in me where I just knew that my grandfather was going to die that day. So I called into work and drove over to his house, and my father also had the same thing, so he was already there. And later on that day, when my grandpa started to physically pass, I just carried him into his bedroom and sat there with him, and I just kind of went on autopilot and started saying very kind of, I guess, esoteric type things that I hadn't ever researched at that point. And just a lot of stuff just started coming out of me. It was a super powerful moment for me. And after that, it's just a full 180 shift in my whole worldview and everything.
Were you okay with it? I mean, you can, when that happens, like it did with me, I spent about a week of walking around in a daze like I got hit with a hammer in the forehead. And I spent a lot of time in my bedroom just sitting on my bed going, what is going on? So were you okay with that, or was it like that for you too?
At first, of course it was hard because my whole family was torn up from it, and I was too, but I definitely had a good period of time of definitely just being kind of in this weird fog, but it didn't take all that long for me to kind of see, not in a morbid way, but almost like a beautiful aspect of it, especially because it was a peaceful passing. And so to me, it did seem like almost like a birth, even though it was a death.
Who does your artwork?
He's a guy named Jorge Gutierrez. He did a lot of the artwork for like Suicide Silence, Winds of Plague. That's how I found him. And so back in the old death metal band I was in, he was the only artist we went through, and I loved his work so much because especially back then it was very, very gory, brutal metal artwork. And simultaneously with me switching over towards the sort of lyrical content and image I'm going for right now, he did as well. And I started noticing his paintings were getting very kind of alien and stuff like that. And so I decided, like, oh man, I'm just sticking with you. You are permanently my artist, whether you like it or not.
He is so talented, and you know, it's not only the content, but the color choices. You know, and he's so detail-oriented. I really enjoy that type of artwork, and it is just so creative. And you're right, it's alien with a little, well, you know, consciousness, but maybe a little Egypt thrown in. You know, there's a little bit of everything here, a little Mayan culture. It's really well done.
Yeah. The album cover he did for me, it was pretty funny how he did it. I had sent him some lyrics for the album, and I told him, you know, just make what comes to your mind from that. And he read the lyrics, and he's like, I need to go to the desert for a while for this one. And so he just brought his camping gear and painting gear out to the desert. I believe he took some sorts of mind-altering things, and then a few days later, he sends me a picture of the painting version of that album cover, and then he made it digital.
Yeah, it's incredible. Okay, now, inquiring minds inquire within, need to know how to read your logo.
Oh, man, I get that a lot.
I know you do. Okay, so I'm just going to say this. The CEO of Von Stellar and I spent a day trying to figure it out, and we got nowhere. So you called into the show tonight.
Within.
So how do you do it?
Well, I told Jorge, I was like, you know, the band name's Inquire Within. I would like there to be a flower of life kind of in there, and then I told him to style the font after Sanskrit. And so when he sent it back to me, it looks like it is written in Sanskrit.
Now I can read it.
So
now,
I like it that he pulled that off so good. But
it says Inquire Within. It totally does. Yeah. And now it's staring at me in the face.
Yeah, you know how a lot of death metal bands make their really ridiculous font that you can't read?
Yeah.
Well, I just did that in a peaceful way.
It's so cool. So I was putting it up to the mirror. I was like, okay, I'm trying to, is it upside? It says Inquire Within. Really well done. Really well done. And so I'm not the only one that asked about the logo.
Oh, no, I've gotten that a lot. And I think just because I knew what the band name was before I asked for the logo, to me, when I got it back, of course, automatically I knew what it said. I didn't take into account that 90% of the world has no idea what it says. But, you know, I'll stick with it.
Yeah. You know, I wasn't even sure if you could read it backwards and forwards, you know, if it was a play on that. I was really trying to Because visually, it's just listen, Inquire. It's a really incredible logo. The music is fantastic. Your support of On Stellar, got you a blue check mark, and I just want to thank you for that, and for everything that you have done. Thank you. Now, do you have a website?
I don't yet. I've been working on one. I don't know when I'll have it finished because I spread myself across 1,000 projects at once.
Mm-hmm.
But just Inquire Within on Facebook or Instagram at Inquire Within Reality. Just do the On Stellar thing. But speaking of On Stellar, I would like to on air thank Bobby Riv and Paul Lowndes for how helpful they've been to me and how quick they've been to respond. Those guys have been a lot of help.
Yeah, your everything that you have done on Stellar has just been very, very impressive, and we've noticed it. And I want to thank you too as well, and thank you for recognizing the team there because and Bobby and everybody that is over there. It's such there's a lot more names that need to be thanked, and I will do that over time. It would take me a whole show to do that, but it's a labor of love, man. We have put everything that we've left it all on the table, and I'm not kidding about that. It's a huge, huge project, but it's there, it's happening, and your presence and what you have done has just been incredible. So I encourage everybody to go over it now. Inquire just reactivated his Twitter account today. I did see that, by the way, just so you know. And so for you, with so many fans out there, it was so funny to see this, that your first post was, "I haven't been here in 10 years," right? And I just I totally laughed about that, and so everybody can go. It's Inquire Official on Twitter. And I'll put it up there now. I just followed you, by the way. I'm your second follower.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No,
that
thank
first
you.
follower, I think that's one of those bots that auto-follows people. So I think you're the official real one.
Okay. Well, I'll get it up there, and just thank you so much. And the music is great. The videos are great. I love your video diary of the shoot that you did, and it's all really, really cool. So just thank you so much. Much success, and we got to get you back on the show, and we'll talk some more music and UFOs.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. I would love to talk about some UFOs with you sometime, my good sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the surprise call, and just out of the gate tonight, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now go have some fun on Stellar, and hang out on Twitter.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll be listening to the rest of the show and blowing you up on Twitter.
Thank you so much, Inquire. Inquire Within, everybody, out of the gate. Thank you so much, first-time caller, and the honor is all mine. Thank you, Inquire.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to put up Inquire Within's links right here in Twitter, but you can go over to On Stellar, Inquire Within, right there. Videos, artwork, it's all there. Says Faded Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'm going to get out of here. I'll be right back taking more of your phone calls. It's Fadernight, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. I'll be right back. Stay with me.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. Dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And this is Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
Yes.
We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly Ancient Life Oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Fadernight. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Inquire Within called in, man. That was pretty cool. That caught me by surprise. See, I can even be a fanboy. I can be a fanboy. I'll let it out. The music and the artwork and the project is really, really cool. It's incredible. So go over to onstellar.com and go seek out Inquire Within. And also, I just put up his Twitter feed. He hasn't been on Twitter in 10 years and started today. So there you go. His links are right up there in our Twitter feed. Let's go to area code 360. You're up next on Fade to Black. I almost said Coast to Coast. You're up next. Who's calling?
Yes, Jimmy. This is Phil Christophers, also known as Emerald Dragon Reiki on Stellar.
What is your handle on Stellar?
Emerald Dragon Reiki.
Emerald Dragon Reiki. Why not go with Philip?
Well, because I'm a Reiki master and I'm going to be offering that service. So I thought I would plug it in.
Okay.
Grab that one because it described what I do.
Okay, yeah, you didn't want anybody else to grab it, right?
Right. Because somebody grabbed what I had before, which was Green Dragon Reiki, and they've set up a site, and so now I can't use it.
Rita just put up the name of that movie I was just talking about. Did you see it? I think it's The Experiment. Is that what it's called? I have to go back. Discovery. The Discovery, Robert Redford. We watched it last night. Incredible movie. If you haven't,
I'll put it on my Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
So the questions. Where we come from?
Yeah, where did we come from?
Source. And don't make me define source, please. It's like consciousness or, that.
Okay.
Why we're here, where we're at is, I'm going to lay it on the JFK assassination, and that's when things kind of went south. But I was born in 1953, so you could say the Korean War, too, so I don't know. It was one of those things. I'm going to say, I quote Eisenhower here, beware of the military-industrial complex. So that probably is when it got us to where we're at right today. And where we're going is a upping in consciousness, moving the consciousness to where we can track in more than one dimension, or more than 4 dimensions that we kind of acknowledge now, right? The width, depth, height, and time, right?
Right.
So that's my take on it, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah. I hear you there, Philip. My answer to the third question, where are we going? This is what I find really interesting. When we talk about ET, right, visiting here and contact and communication and what might be going on, the conversation that you would have with yourself, the Philip you, but the Philip you 1,000 years from now, 1,000 years, humanity advancing in 1,000 years. Do you think that you could have a conversation with the Philip from 1,000 years from now? Would you be able to understand yourself? Would you be able to relate? Would you be able to understand?
No, I wouldn't, Jimmy, because I don't understand light language.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes I'm talking it, but it's I'm not too sure what I'm saying.
Yeah, and so.
I did hear somebody. They were saying something, and they said it was in Lemurian.
Right.
And something internally in me said, no, that's Palladian. So maybe I'm starting to get it.
Right.
But I think that's where we're going. We'll be able to have fully activated third eyes. We'll be able to have green flames coming out of her hand.
Yes.
Healing across distances, which I'm already doing. Telekinesis, levitation, bilocation, stargates. I think I think that's all in our future.
It is, and we wouldn't have. I don't think we would even know that we were talking to humans. And so when we think about, well, look at it this way. When we talk about time travelers, right? Mm-hmm. And so time traveling back to here, you wouldn't recognize. You might not even be able to see. They would be here in their selves, but they may not have a body. We may be light beings in 1,000 years or 10,000 years from now, and coming back.
I think we already are, Jimmy. Actually, but we just don't realize it.
But what I am suggesting is we are imagining those time travelers would look like us and be like us and act like us with different clothes on. I'm not so sure it's that kind of party.
I'm pretty sure by then that they will be able to appear to us just like we are, only maybe if you actually tried to touch him, it'd be kind of like a hologram, and there wouldn't be any there.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, Philip, you're the best, man. Thank you for the phone call, and thank you
bet,
for.
Man. You have a good night.
And
I mean, this has been great so far.
And thank you.
And on the Jon thing, yeah, I mean, logic was good, but he kind of missed that one step, the mean in there, and I'm trying to research it, but I got something funky going on with my search engines.
Well, but that's what you have to do. You have to take Jon and listen and then go do your own thing. So go do your own thing.
Right. So I'm going to dig a little deeper than Jon.
As you should, Philip. Have a great night, my friend.
Then I'll put it on Stellar, and we'll still call it the same thing.
Philip, have a great night.
You too, man.
Thank you. Philip Christophers, thank you so much, Philip. Go find him on Stellar. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Mark in Dallas.
Mark in Dallas. How are you?
Doing great, man. It's a lovely Thursday evening. How about what's it like in L.A.?
Not a cloud in the sky. Well, it's dark outside now, but I was up top right before the show and having a quick conversation with Jon and Rappoport, and he was dealing with thunderstorms. And he goes, "What's it like out there?" I go, "Dude, I'm not wearing socks. I'm sitting here drinking an espresso. Not a cloud in the sky. It's beautiful." And so there you go. So that's what's going on out here. What's on your mind tonight, Mark?
Well, man, last time I called, we had a little rock and roll fun. We talked about guitarists from Canada. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Oh, a couple of months ago. Yeah, I do remember that. That was good. That was good.
So that was fun. So let's play if you're up to it, man, let's play a new game tonight. The game I like to call the Time Machine game.
Okay.
Here's the premise. Me and you are sitting on my back porch probably drinking vodka, watching the sun go down here at my little farm in Texas. So we get to talking, and come to find out, we walk out to my barn, and I reveal that I do have an old DeLorean time machine that actually works.
Okay.
Now, here's the deal. We have to decide where we're going to go. There's a couple stipulations. We can only make 3 trips. Now, we start talking about the Sphinx and the pyramids and going to see Jesus, yada, yada. Well, by the time we get midway through this bottle of vodka, we're going, screw it, we're going to go see some rock shows.
Okay.
So we're going to go see 3 rock shows. Now, I've picked the year, 1973, which I feel like is arguably the greatest year, the greatest summer of rock and roll. So here's the deal. We're going to go see 3 shows, but there's 6 shows. We got to pick 3 out of 6. Now, I'm going to let you pick. I'm buying the tickets. I think in 73, the tickets probably cost about $12.
Yeah, might have been 8. Might have been 8. General admission. Might have been 8. Okay, so
here's where this works, man. So May, 3rd week of May 1973. Here's the first 2 Friday night, the 3rd Friday night in May of 1973. Are you ready? You got to pick one of these 2 bands. Now, we can either go to Chicago, Illinois, to see The Who, which has just released their Who's Next album.
Right.
Or we can go to Honolulu, Hawaii, and see the Stones, which Mick and Keith are young and vibrant and
Mick Jones.
heroin addicts.
Yeah, Mick Jones is still in the band.
Absolutely, and they have another surprise. Their lead-on act is a little band from Texas called ZZ Top.
That's right.
And that's no joke.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
So there's our Friday night.
Oof.
And you got to pick one of those two acts, man.
I'm going with The Who. I'm going with The Who in Chicago.
Well, you know who's playing drums, right?
Yeah, of course.
The great Keith Moon. So on that album, we can see Keith Moon play "We Won't Get Fooled Again."
That's right.
I'm with you. It couldn't get any better than that.
No, I'm going with The Who. Keith Moon. He had the multicolored psychedelic drum set on that tour. So I'm going with The Who. I'm going with The Who.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Okay, that's Friday night. Now we have 2 more trips. The following Saturday night, we have in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm going to loan you one of my cowboy hats. We're going to Cowtown, Tarrant County Convention Center, a little band that I like to call Led Zeppelin, in support of their newest album, Houses of the Holy. Or we can go to Boston, and there's a little band I think you've heard of called Deep Purple, and with their latest release is Machine Head.
Right.
So we got Machine Head versus Houses of the Holy, Led Zeppelin versus Deep Purple. Which one are you picking?
Again, that's as crazy as it sounds. That's a tough decision. That's actually a tough decision because of Machine Head and that lineup of Deep Purple. Oh man. Okay. Is that Deep Purple? Is that Ian Gillan? Is he still in the band?
Yes.
Or is that Coverdale?
No, that's Ian.
That's Ian Gillan. See, that's tough, man. And Glenn Hughes, right? So, ooh, man, ooh, that is tough. That's tough, man. That's tough. I'm going Led Zeppelin. I'm going Led Zeppelin, even though I know. See, look, man. I'm just. I gotta go. Look, I gotta go. Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy.
We get to see John Bonham play when the levee breaks.
That's right.
I mean, it's the greatest drum tones in rock history.
Yeah, but giving up Ian Gillan, Glenn Hughes, and Richie Blackmore, John Lord. Oh, man, that's a tough one.
I'm not going to make it easy on you, pal.
Okay.
All
right.
I'm with you, Led Zeppelin. We got one more night.
Okay.
We have one more night, and then we're out of fuel in the DeLorean. So, the Sunday, same third week of May, 1973, the greatest summer in rock history. We can go to Philadelphia. In support of their latest album, Closer to the Edge, we have The Greatness of Yes.
Yep.
Versus at the Forum in L.A. You know where that is. In support of their latest album, Brain Salad Surgery.
Oh, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Oh, you got to okay. Now that, you know what? That's the toughest night. That right there. That's the toughest night. That right there. You would think Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, the Who, and the Stones. But Emerson, Lake and Palmer versus Yes.
So you got look at the keyboard for Keith Emerson. It's Greg Lake, and then you got this dude named Carl Palmer on drums, who is the idiot savant, one of the greatest drummers I've ever seen in my life.
That's right. Yeah, there's no question about it. Nope. Yeah, I
mean they were incredible.
Oh man.
And yet, Yes was an all-star band. They were a Super Bowl team at every position.
Yep.
Rick Wakeman.
Yep.
On keyboards, forget about it.
Yep. Greg Howe. Oof, man. So
Steve Howe. Yeah,
Steve Howe. But see, this is. I don't know. That's too tough of a call. Brain Salad Surgery. And what that meant to me, I wore that album out. And before,
me too.
Okay, so, but before we even go into that zone, Yes, Closer to the Edge, Yes songs. Yes songs. I used to sit with my headphones on and do those things that I did in the mid-'70s with my headphones, and would open up Yes songs and stare at the artwork, right, and just go through. I mean, I don't know, man. So if you're
like me, you got transformed to their world, right?
Oh man. You know,
and Dr. Dean artwork,
and yeah. And how about, we think about all of those things, but one of the great songs ever recorded, captured live of all time, Starship Trooper, off of Yes songs. Yeah. And I don't think it can be topped. There's a lot of songs that tie. But that live version of Starship Trooper is one of the great moments in rock history. It's incredible.
And when Steve Howe does that breakdown of that finger picking the guitar and the lead ride where it's rock history in my opinion.
Okay, so Mark, I'm gonna have to go. I'm going yes. It kills me to say that because of brain salad surgery and what that means to me. But if I got to pull the trigger, we're gonna go see yes. There you go. I did it. Man,
you're the man.
Yeah,
you're the man. I didn't want to make it easy on you tonight.
No, that was so. That actually went down 3 nights in a row. Third week of May in 1973.
I don't know if the cities are right, but these bands were touring with those albums in the summer of '73. It's simply incredible. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
strongest year in rock history.
Yeah, really good research there, Mark. And I think that we would do this right. But Rita just hit me with this. She thinks you are a time traveler.
I can neither confirm nor deny that, brother.
Really well done. I really enjoyed this tonight. It's not at all what I expected, and really well done. I thought you were going to go California Jam, and I started. I thought you were going to go there, but I think was that 74? What was the original California Jam? Hold on. Do you have any guesses?
I don't, because I'm from Texas. We had Texas Jam, so I bet it was the same. I bet it was the same show. I bet.
Oh, April 6th. There you go. April 6th, 1974. And but this is the crazy thing about that, because Deep Purple was on that bill, Emerson, Lake and Palmer was on that bill, and so I felt like that, but that wasn't 73. That was 74. That was Black Oak, Arkansas, right? The Eagles, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Rare Earth, right? Yeah.
The 70s, brother, the 70s.
And the next California Jam, that was the one with Ted Nugent. I think that was the next year. Mark, thank you for the phone call, my friend, and always good sporting with you. This was really well done. Thank you so much.
Trying to keep you on your toes, all right, brother?
Oh! Rita just said. Rita just said, "Would you have picked the same shows?"
I think the opportunity to go see Carl Palmer play the Brain Salad Surgery album, I think I would have probably picked ELP. That's the only change I would have made, I think.
Yeah, if they opened up with "Welcome Back, My Friends."
Yes, then we could have got out of there and gone to the Yes concert.
Thank you so much, Mark. Great phone call. Thank you so much.
Have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Great phone call right there. And so let's just stay on the phones. Let's see what I have here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Lost that call. Let's go here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Matt.
Matt?
No, Tanette.
Oh, Tanette. You just had to call in and gloat.
Yep.
CB Dark. Well done. I don't think anybody topped it. Everybody tried to. And for those that you weren't here earlier in the show, River Moon Coffee and Fade to Black is coming out with a CBD-infused bean. Okay, a CBD-infused bean. But I don't think we have a name for it yet. So I threw it out there, and Tanette came back right away with, and you didn't even delay. How did that come to you? You came back with CB Dark, and you were right there. What it do? Just popped in your head? It's really well done. Inspired.
It literally just popped in my head.
That's it? You don't have anything more clever?
No.
Okay.
Except that CB Dark would have been maybe a little better. CB
Dark. Okay. I would. Okay, I could see that. But I like it, CB Dark. And I don't know if it can be topped. I don't. And your second or third attempt at trying to top your original inspiration, nah. Sometimes just let it go. Tonight, just ride with the CB Dark. Don't try to top yourself. Just ride it out. That's all you have to do.
Okay, so another thing, you wanted to talk about music tonight. So there is, you've heard of Metal Church, right?
Of course, great band. Their album, The Dark, Metal Church, one of the great albums in metal history.
Right. So my husband's cousin was married to Steve Unger, and their children are now doing a band called Metal Church.
Oh, really?
Right. And so they're still a bit young. They're just teenagers yet. But I think they're pretty damn good. And if they keep going at it the way they're going, they're going to be awesome.
But wait. What's the connection? Are they able to? Did Steve give them the right to use Metal Church, or are they not using the name Metal Church?
No, they're not using the name, but Steve Unger is promoting them.
Oh, I got you.
Because it's his kid.
How old is Steve these days? He's got to be my age.
Yeah, he's about 50-ish, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's got to be right around my age. What about for you? I mean, their album, The Dark, for me, and I listen to it all the time, Ton of Bricks. Oh, man, every time I hear that song. What was Let the Children Pray? Remember that song? Or was it Watch the Children Pray? Let the Children Pray, Watch the Children Pray. But anyway, that album is so good. And the original singer, right, David Wayne, incredible. Mm-hmm. Then they got a singer from Hollywood that was in a band here. I got to think of their name. I saw him at Gazzari's, and then he replaced David Wayne, and he was okay. But that first album and David Wayne and the style and what was the guy from Hollywood? Mike, I can't remember his name. Oh, man, I should be shot. But you know what? It's 30 years ago, so everybody give me a break. But that album, Metal Church, was just incredible. So you're saying the kids are pretty good?
Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, they're kids still, so you take it with a grain of salt. But they're called Sin Circus, so everybody look it up. But they're up and coming. They're the old school style, like, Jordan.
Right.
Kind of thing, hairband,
Yeah. All right. What are they called? Mike Hansen. That's what Scott Richards just said. Mike Hansen was it Mike Hansen? No, it wasn't Mike Hansen. It was Mike. I want to say Howard. Mike Howard. Mike Howard. Oh man, I'm just gonna get lambasted with email tomorrow. I can already see this.
None of those sound familiar, so I can't help you out.
Thank you so much, Tanette, and CB Dark. CB Dark, that's it. That's the benchmark, and I think that's what we're going to go with, if that's okay with River Moon Coffee.
And River Moon liked it too. They said vote one.
Oh, did they? River Moon popped in? I missed the tweet. All right.
Yeah, you have to look it up.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Tanette. Be safe and be well out there, and have a great weekend.
You too, Jimmy. Love you.
Thank you so much. Loving you right back, Tanette. Tanette Booth, CB Dark. So what was the replacement singer in Metal Church? I think that's the question tonight. I love David Wayne. All right, The Doc, their first album. Incredible. I think they're from Seattle, right? It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We'll be right back. Taking your phone calls. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. And last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi, folks. What can I say without making claims? CBD is truly the buzzword for health. What does it do? Government institutions will not allow me to say what this wonderful oil does for us. But I can say it's non-GMO and organic. I can say it's 0.003 THC, which in plain English means you won't get high. There are those that want to squash your freedom to buy natural products. Fight back with your purchase power. In the end, it is you that takes care of your health. Go to ancientlifeoil.com. One more time, ancientlifeoil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. If you're on hold right there, we're talking about, the band Metal Church right before the break. And seriously, The Dark. Turns out that was their second album. And also, I thought they were from Seattle. They're from San Francisco. But that album floored me, and that song "Ton of Bricks," and I went and was looking up the track list. "Start the Fire," the second song. "Start the Fire," "Bring Down the Hammer." Right? Oh man! "Watch the Children Pray." Of course, the title song "The Dark." It's just an incredible album. And Kurt Vanderhoof, just a great album, Metal Church. And there you go, bringing back memories. I've got that album here. But since we're talking about music, I did want to mention that up at Soul Tech, we're going to do Latetta Teresa is going to be there, and she's a great, amazing flute player that we met at a conference here in Los Angeles last year. And the thing is she's coming to Soul Tech, and she's going to be bringing her flute, and she's going to be doing the closing night ceremony. So we thought it would be fun to have the attendees participate too as well. So if you play a sacred instrument or maybe even percussion, let us know. We would like to hear from you. And just contact us, okay? And that'll be the closing night ceremony. But she is absolutely amazing. And you can check out her website, latetta.com, and go and listen to her music, and it's all right there. She's just phenomenal. So that'll be Sunday night, and we would love to hear from you, okay? All right, let's go back to the phones. Area code 215. You're up next. Who's calling?
Yo, Jimmy, it's Wally, Philadelphia. How are you?
How are you? That's the question. What's going on in Philly tonight?
It's rainy and muggy, but summers are coming, and so we're loving it. It was a long, brutal winter.
Yeah, it was. I didn't think it was ever going to let go. Do you ever feel like, springtime starts rolling around, and then it snows again? Do you ever trip on that and go, you know what? What if it just snowed all year long?
I'd move.
Yeah, I know. It feels like it could do that sometimes, but there you go. All right.
I just got back from Puerto Rico. The company I work for, we decided to do some hurricane relief, and we went down there, and it's such a beautiful place, and it was just great to go down there and do some stuff, and but the weather, you can really get used to it.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing like smelling the Caribbean. The odor, the smell.
No, when you get off the airplane, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm here.
I know, it's immediate. And there's nothing like. I don't even know how to explain it. But there's that tropical smell, that Caribbean smell, and it's just immediate down there. So, well, good for you guys to go down there and do some hurricane relief, and I'll thank you for that right now. Thank you so much. That's very cool of you guys to do. What's on your mind tonight, Wally?
Well, all right, going with the music thing real quick. I know this is all generational, and I know you're more into the heavy stuff, but I think the best year for tours, rock tours, classic rock stuff was 1977. You had Bruce Springsteen touring not only on the Born to Run stuff, but the Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. You had Fleetwood Mac doing their Rumors tour, and you had Queen doing their News of the World and Day of the Races stuff. Not to mention, you had Aerosmith touring doing rocks. Van Halen was just coming out. Pink Floyd was doing Animals. It's the Who were touring The Kids Are All Right. There was I guess sort of like one of their concert, what do you call them, rock opera things or whatever.
And you left off two big names. Kiss was touring for Kiss Alive 2.
That's right.
And Peter Frampton was touring.
That's right. No, they were huge. I remember, the Frampton Comes Alive phenomenon was just, everybody had 2 copies of that album.
Yep, I did. I absolutely did. I saw Peter Frampton on that tour at Market Square Arena. And Rick Derringer opened, right? Like, that's like, holy crap, what a show that was. But Peter Frampton comes out and he announces to the crowd, he goes, and if you were at that show, you'll remember this. He goes, our drummer is sick tonight and cannot play. But the good news is Bob Mayo, our keyboard player, plays drums. So Bob Mayo played drums and all of that cool keyboard stuff for Peter Frampton that Bob Mayo played. You didn't get that night. So it was a strict 3-piece band, Frampton, Bob Mayo, and the bass player, whoever. I don't even remember the bass player's name.
A pretty darn good guitar player, I'll tell you that. I mean, what did he played on Michael Jackson's tour, and he played on a few. People don't realize what a great guitar player Peter Frampton is.
Oh, man, Frampton's phenomenal. You want to know how good of a guitar player Peter Frampton is? Go and watch. I mean, all the new videos that he's doing are really good. But go listen to, first off, listen to Frampton Comes Alive. But listen to Lines on My Face. And then you realize how great of a guitar player Peter Frampton was back then. He wasn't all about the hair. He was a phenomenal Mott the Hoople, man, right there. Peter Frampton, Frampton's Camel.
Mott the Hoople, he was probably like 16 years old and he was blowing it away.
I know, man. I think he gave Steve Marriott a run for his money, and that's.
I was fortunate. Living in Philly, we had JFK Stadium here, and that was the era of the mega tour. So we had, Fleetwood Mac. We had Leonard Skinner doing Street Survivors tour.
Right.
Molly Hatchet. You had like all these weird combinations of Hall & Oates, Sanford and Townsend, playing in JFK Stadium. And of course, JFK Stadium is no more. That's where they used to have the Army-Navy game. It held 100,000 people.
That's right.
It was the largest stadium in the East Coast, if not the U.S., and it's where they held Live Aid.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And when they kicked off Live Aid, it was, in the United States, it was at JFK Stadium. And I remember at the time asking myself, why JFK Stadium? Why not the Rose Bowl? Why not the Coliseum? Why not Giant Stadium? Why not these other? But no, it was JFK Stadium in Philadelphia. You're absolutely right. That's what did it for Live Aid.
And a real quick anecdote. Well, you've got the East Coast corridor. So you got New York, D.C., Boston. Everybody can drive down, came down, whatever. But also, Phil Collins flew from London, played a set in London.
2 shows.
To Philly, and played a set in Live Aid in Philly.
That's right, 2 shows. Man, you've got Wally, you got the musical knowledge, man. I'm pretty impressed.
I play. I play the bass guitar. I used to play the guitar, but everybody wanted to play the guitar, so I put down my Strat and my Les Paul Custom and picked up my Fender P and my Fender Jazz, and just do that and play a few bars around, Philly. But anyway, it's a great topic, the music thing. But going back to where we are and everything, I think about my grandmother. She was born in 1902, and she died a little after 9/11. And she saw us, go from horse and buggy to, the space shuttle, the internet. Unfortunately, she even got to see 9/11. So she got to see the world change. And I think in 1,000 years, we are going to be like ancient Egypt. They're going to be wondering what we were doing, what were these boxes for that we call TVs. They're going to pick up these little CDs, and they're going to think that they were some type of ring toss game. They're not going to know how to play them. They're not going to know there's information on them, just like we don't know how to uncode some of the secrets of the Sumerians and the Egyptians. And I call it lost technology. And if you've ever heard of an astronaut named Don Pettit, he talks about one of the reasons why we haven't gone to the moon is because we've lost the technology. In other words, people talk about them throwing away the pictures or the video from the moon landings. Aside from the moon hoax stuff, which, I'm not sure, I'm on the fence with all that. I don't know. I want to get into all that. But I think that there's a certain degree where civilizations have technology, and and we get this great technology, and then the human race loses this technology, and then every couple thousand years or maybe 10,000 years, we have to rediscover it and refind it.
Yeah, and you're right about that comparison to Egypt and our technology today, because we don't have an instruction manual for the Great Pyramid. We don't have an instruction manual for so much of Egypt. And our technology today, when they go, a few thousand years from now, or forget about that, let's go 1,000,000 years from now, right? And they're digging up these archaeological sites that, I think this used to be called New York City, right? So they're undigging, digging up the past, and they find a CD. They're not going to know what to do with that. They're not going to have they're not going to have a clue. You're right. Ring toss. I mean, that's probably pretty close.
Some game we played, dead serious. It's some of the graphics that may be on a CD, they're going to try and decipher that, and they're going to be, like you said, holding it to a mirror or whatever device they have then. Or I just think that it was very interesting that this astronaut would come out and say that we've lost the technology to go to the moon.
No, you're.
And then lastly, I just want to say, as far as ET, okay, I believe it's an interdimensional thing. The reason why I do is because we use drones. We send satellites and drones to, around the moon, around Earth. We send drones, Pathfinder, Curiosity to Mars. We don't send human beings. So why would we think that ET would send themselves physically? That's the thing I'm trying to wrap my head around these days, is why would they come in person? Because I believe that the Earth is an aquarium. It's a terrarium. It's an experiment. It's somebody's, aquarium, that they just have this life. And I think somebody on your show once said, that the whole universe, I think Linda Moulton Howe talked about this. They come in and they look and they see what we're doing, and they're checking out what we're doing and all the diversity. I mean, look at all the diversity of life. The frogs, the fish, the birds, the mammals, just every different thing is just, zebras, zebras compared to horses. Just crazy stuff. So I think it's an interdimensional thing, and that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. I don't know. I think the world is so big. We only know one quarter of the planet Earth, because the rest of it's covered by water. Mm-hmm. There could be a whole civilization underwater that we talk about USOs. There could be a whole civilization underwater that's paying us visits, and then just returning underwater. And how would we know? We know more about the moon than we know about the oceans.
That's exactly right, Wally, and it's all connected. And one thing is for sure, thank you for the phone call, but the base is interdimensional. Thank you, my friend. Behave.
Take care. Bye.
That's a great phone call right there. That is an amazing phone call, and it is all connected. And if you're on hold, stay right there. But I was just looking at this tweet from Mystic Coder. Listen, Mystic Coder says, what happened to talking about the nature of reality, etc.? It's all guitar talk. Doesn't compute. I get you love your guitar lore, but the show isn't really about that, is it? It's all connected. It's all connected. Never, ever, 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 ever forget that. It's all connected. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
It's Mirella here.
Hi, Mirella. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, just a minute. I'm getting you at a different time here. I have to turn that off.
Okay.
So I'm live with you now?
Yes, you are, Mirella.
Okay, beautiful. Well, I have a little music story, just quickly.
Sure.
Oh, the first is I just finished setting up a little aquarium in my room.
Okay.
And that man that was talking just now was talking about an aquarium. Is that right?
Yes. I'm hearing the connection.
Okay. Anyway,
I want to hear about your aquarium. But yeah, I mean, the comparison of Earth or the world or the all being compared to an aquarium, I think is a very, very valid one. And I think it was Michio Kaku a couple of books ago that did a chapter on that and wrote about it too as well. But tell us about your aquarium.
All right, it's just beautiful. I'm sitting here looking at it now. I haven't bought the fish yet.
You have to speak up though, Morella. You speak into the.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so tell us about it.
The aquarium's all finished, set up, and I'll get the fish next week after the water settles. So that's nice. But I have, okay, the music story as well. I did marry a musician, and we were together for 12 years. He was the nephew, one of the nephews of Django Reinhardt, a legendary jazz guitarist who, is his family in Germany. The Reinhardts, his name's Leroy. But when I got married to him, I went over to Germany and lived with his big gypsy family over there, and it was all music and all beautiful. And he went on to do a lot of albums, and he got really busy on tour all the time. So I came back to Australia to live. I've got my daughter here. And but it was in Germany that I had that sighting, my second sighting, or the first real sighting that I have ever had. That was in Germany, and if I hadn't have married Lilo and gone over there and stayed there and everything that happened, I wouldn't have been in the place that I was over there to maybe have witnessed that fear. Anyway, it was in the forest in Germany.
What part of Germany? What city?
In a place called Friedrichshagen, and it's off between Cologne and Frankfurt.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest city is a place called Koblenz, and it's a very music little place. It's beautiful, and it's an old the Altstadt, which means the old town, and there's a lot of underground sort of little places that people play. So Lilo would play there in all the different places with a lot of his family too, like Sasha Reinhardt and all the nephews were all playing guitar. All the boys, when they're little, learn guitar. They're amazing, and they all look up to Django Reinhardt, and they all know his music. They all play songs, but you know what? None of them ever travel. None of them really come out of Europe. They're all there, and they don't really go overseas. But when Lilo met me, he came to Australia and toured here, and we got married from meeting here in Australia. He got quite well known over here and did lots of good things. But the last thing I just want to mention is that friends of his with a recording studio asked him if his wife would do something for them. So we went and had a meeting, and they wanted this character to be a symbol of their little company logo or whatever, something. And can you do us a creature? I went home and I thought, okay. I said, yes, of course I'll do it. I need work and I wanted money. And I came home, and for about a week I was like all these drawings, and I was when I do it like a bear, or when I do it like an angel, or I do it like, something like, I don't know. And I poured over it for night and day. And then one night I was in my room, in my room. That's just me. And I was sitting with my art book, and I thought, no, I've got to do this. I want this. I want to get this done. And I sat there quietly, and a little tiny moth flew in and sat on the paper. And I was looking at this tiny little moth, tiny. And it was sitting there, and all of a sudden, I don't know where it went, but in front of me was a creature, and it was beautiful, and I started to draw it. And I was thanking it because I was so stumped for what to do and what creature to do. I was talking like Merlin and this or that, and with a long beard and so forth. And they wanted something that would go in water and air and mountains. And straight away, with this little moth, I thought, he's coming here, it's landed here, it's got wings. And I drew this thing, and I drew it, and then I presented it to them, and they drove me all the way to another little town, Zug or somewhere. Anyway, they paid me €500 for this one little drawing I did, and I swear it was the moth. I called it the moth. They wanted to call it the moth. And I put it on Stella page, right, on my timeline, because it is a part of my whole journey that I had over there in Germany and everything. But this little creature has always been with me. And always, I think, I got that job because I was open and I was sensitive enough to see.
Yeah, you never know. See, Morella, I've got to head towards a break here, but you never know what is going to inspire you. You were trying to, get all, deep and heavy and Merlin and beards, right? Yeah. And then it comes to you in an instant. Just like that, a moth lands, and you get to eat and pay your rent, right? Right?
Yep.
Think about that. That's a really, 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 really great story, and you just never know how that inspiration will come to you. Thank you so much, Morella, and do me a favor, will you? Have a great weekend. Have a great, amazing weekend.
You too, thank you.
Thank you, Morella. Morella from Australia right there. You never know what's going to inspire you. Don't force it. Never force it. Because then it'll just land on your paper. And there it is. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines. More of your phone calls next. Stay with me.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
What can I say about the most popular tea on the internet? And what do customers say about Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com? A lot. But by federal law, we at GetTheTea.com cannot make claims to how this product can enhance your health. We cannot even post our testimonies without being in compliance. So how do we get past the hump? Try our products at GetTheTea.com and see for yourself. You can send us a testimony, but we just can't post it. Bummer. Our products are GMO-free and organic. We pride ourselves in being the best we can be, and we urge you to take charge of your health. We're 11 years strong, and many of our customers have shared their successes with friends and family. Protect your colon. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. GetTheTea.com. GetTheTea.com.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm over at OnStellar reading the Metal Church messages that came flooding in. You guys get it. But it was Mike Howe replaced David Wayne, but I'm trying to Mike Howe's band that he had here in Hollywood. Man, saw him a couple of times. But anyway, there you go. It was Mike Howe. I thought it was Mike Howard. Mike Howe. It's a good singer. Good singer. All right, open lines, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. All right, let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on, let's not do that one. Let's do this one. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Mr. Church, it's Eric, the Awakening Man.
Hi, Eric, the Awakening Man. Got to make sure that you're not identifying yourself with any other Erics out there. You need to get the Awakening Man put in. I don't want to confuse anybody either.
I appreciate that. I'm the Awakening Man on OnStellar too, by the way, just so those who might be listening.
Oh, you're on OnStellar, huh?
I'm on OnStellar. I haven't really done my thing there yet, but I'm building up some good stuff that I want to break out, but that's down the road.
Somebody just posted Echo 5 Voodoo posted the Hollywood Nights T-shirt on my page, and I just freaked out. Very funny, great movie. Yeah, everybody's got to go to OnStellar.com. Get it going. It is so cool. So much fun over there. Okay, so what's on your mind tonight, Eric?
Well, you just mentioned great movie. I was thinking that I'm going to guess you've seen The Shape of Water, or have you?
Yes, of course.
That was, I mean, did you enjoy that movie? I thought it was a pretty great movie.
I'm going to give it a 6 or a 7. First off, He's one of the best directors out there. The way that he presents the visuals, incredible. The story was there. I expected. If you go back and look at like Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth.
Did it remind you of Tim Burton, by the way, a little bit?
No, it reminded me of him. But what I'm saying is Pan's Labyrinth, that was a freaky movie. That was really well done. Incredible story. And all of his stuff, Hellboy, just great. This was not quite as good as his other stuff. And I thought that the ending, I thought the ending was a little bit too predictable. I saw the whole ending coming.
I like, though, that what I did like about the movie is that they made we'll just call him the creature from the Black Lagoon, the reptilian, whatever it was. They made him into kind of a good guy, so I kind of liked that part of it.
Yeah, and it was a good story, man. It was really good. It would get an 8 from me if the ending wasn't the ending that it was. I mean, that was just, I don't know. It seemed a little bit too rushed, or maybe Hollywood got a hold of the script, and maybe it had a different ending, and there could have been something a little more creative there. But the ending was just too sudden, too deliberate, and too Hollywood.
Well, I want to talk to you. I want to tell you a little quick story, but before that, you talked about research. I think in your opening talk, right? You were mentioning about researching and the research that you do. Was that in the beginning of your show tonight?
Yes.
So, I just want to say this. I've been following you for a little over 3 years now, and I appreciate the research you do, and I learn a lot from listening to you, because I'm going to guess that you probably have 10 times more access than most of us out here because of all the people that you get to talk to. But so what I try to do, just so you know, is I look for stories or stuff that I'm hoping maybe you haven't found yet, because you can't possibly research everything, and even if you go 12 hours a day, right? I mean, I'm sure there's still things you want to know. You just haven't had the time to figure it out yet.
Okay, give it your best shot, Eric.
Okay.
I know where you're going with this. So you're going to try.
This has to do with Giant Rock and Joshua Tree. So that's
okay. You're going to try to stump the panel, and that's okay. That's okay.
Well, even if I don't, the audience is going to enjoy the story. I'm hoping you haven't heard it yet, but if you have, then just go with me.
Oh, wait a minute! I got to tweet this out. Hold on.
Okay.
I just thought of a new Fadernight. We're gonna call it. You're gonna
give it to me right
now. Stump the panel. There you go.
There you go. I like that.
Okay. All right. Stump the panel. Okay. So.
Okay. Oh, and before I tell you this real quickly, I don't know if you caught this last week. Between now and Soul Tech, I'll put it out there. Anybody if I'm going to listen, whoever's got the best Stump the Panel story or a true experiencer story between now and Soul Tech, I will sponsor a free pass. So I just want to throw that out there.
To Soul Tech.
Yep, that's a $335 value for the weekend. You got to get there. You got to camp. You got to buy your own food. But if you need a ticket, it's got to be a good story, though. And I know they're out there. I want to hear them. I want people to call in on Thursdays with some stories.
Okay, so a story or the Stump the Panel? So,
exactly. It's got to be good. Just some good content, something good. It's
okay.
Just as long as it's interesting.
Okay, so now you're going to whip out a Giant Rock story right now. Now, right. Is this a historical Giant Rock research story?
It is historical. We're going to go back to the 50s, which I'm going to guess you've been there, but maybe not as thoroughly as I have the last one.
Okay, but if I know the story as you start to tell it and I'm able to finish it, you lose Stump the Panel then, right?
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay, all right.
Down with that. So let me just go back quickly to the 90s. You probably know this. This isn't the Stump the Panel story, but Dr. Greer, when they were first doing their CE5 protocols, that one of the places they would come out to was Joshua Tree.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. So what I'm going to do, I'm kind of I've seen the UFOs. I believe in the UFOs. I'm ready for CE5. I'm going to learn these protocols, and I want to have contact. But besides that, I'm going to tell the story. But I'm just saying I'm ready for contact.
Man, you don't need to go through CE5 protocols. You need to go through the church protocols.
Okay, well, let's do that at Contact in the Desert.
You know what the church protocols are?
No, I do not.
Oh, you don't know the secret church protocols. Okay, well, it's a guaranteed. Okay, so let's go. Giant rock. Stump the panel. Here we go.
Giant rock. Okay. So most of you probably know that they started doing the UFO conferences with Van Tassel back in the early 50s, and then when he died in 78, then it kind of slowed down. But they were getting 20,000 people out there at that rock during their conferences, which is pretty impressive when you consider how hot it's just a rock. So anyway, I got introduced to this guy named Bob Short. Have you heard of Bob Short?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I met him through Tom Dongo. I actually got to go to his house and got to listen to a lot of his stories, and then I bought about 10 of his DVDs that are not even on YouTube, which was kind of cool because I got to listen to some stuff from back in the 80s, the early 80s. Anyway, so he told this story one time. And before I tell you the story, I heard the story. I thought, that's pretty fantastical. I says, before I even tell the story, I need to vet it a little bit. So I said to Bob Short, I says, Bob, do you have any pictures of you back in the 50s when you were at the Giant Rock, so I can at least know, no offense, that you were there? So he did provide me with a picture. So I do have a picture of him when he was under the rock back in the 50s telling his stories. And this is the story that he told me, which you may have heard, but I'm going to guess most faders haven't heard the story. So it was in the I was right after 53, because I think that's when Van Tassel had his first actual UFO landing encounter, was somewhere in the 52, 53, right there at the Giant Rock. So they had that space landing, they called it a space landing, with the plane landing strip that they had out there, which I saw yesterday, by the way. It's pretty interesting. So one day they're out there. This was, I'm going to guess it might have been mid-50s, around 56, 57, maybe even 58. I haven't found the exact date on this yet. I'm still researching. But Van Tassel was out there. Bob Short was out there. His wife, Shirley, Van Tassel's wife, and some of the other family members. It was just like a family gathering. It wasn't actually a conference that was happening. And you probably know this, but it's been reported that spacecraft were landing out there pretty regularly in the desert near Giant Rock back in the day. I'm sure. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. So one time, this particular occasion, a craft came in and landed on the runway out there, and the spacecraft, the door opens up, and Bob had a Jeep. So they're all hanging out. I don't know, I can't remember if this was the nighttime or what it was, but anyway, they're all hanging out, and Bob jumps in his Jeep. He sees the craft out there on the landway, and he starts driving out towards it, because these were his space brothers. I mean, he was having telepathic communication with these beings. That's why he was out there. And Bob Short actually was also claiming to have telepathic communication with these space brothers also. So Van Tassel drives out there in his Jeep. The spacecraft doors open, kind of laying flat on the ground, and Van Tassel apparently drives right into the spacecraft. The door closes, and the spacecraft takes off. So you got Bob Short, Shirley, Van Tassel's wife, and a bunch of other people that were friends that were all there watching this happen. There was multiple witnesses. So the craft takes off, and after a little while, it comes back, it lands, the door opens, and Van Tassel drives out of the craft in his Jeep, and they're like dumbfounded. And so Van Tassel pulls up to the Giant Rock. He gets out of his Jeep, and Bob Short runs up to him and says, George, what happened, George? What happened? He goes, Van Tassel says, it was very interesting, very interesting. And that's all he would ever say. It was very interesting. So anyway, I don't know if you heard that story, but I thought it was a pretty cool story.
Okay.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I've heard the story before.
Did you hear it differently?
See, but the thing, well, yes. George talks about what he saw on the ship, and he talks about where he went and the feeling of it. He talks about it felt like an elevator ride, which I always thought was interesting. But he describes the controls. He describes the control panels and the instrumentation. And I thought that all of that was very believable, in that his description of the inside of the ship at that time wasn't like anything from any science fiction movies or anything like that. It was totally from the future. And I just found that very compelling. And for me, with Van Tassel, I've always tried to get him to to slip up somewhere, and he never did. But it was his description of the inside of the craft that I thought was, the best evidence, because it wasn't from anything that anybody else had seen, And when the George Adamski stuff and the George Adamski photographs and the kind of like the feud that they were going in. Adamski did show up, by the way, at Giant Rock one year, maybe twice. Yeah. But I think Adamski did it because of the amount of the crowds, how big the crowds were, that he went out there because he had to. I don't think he didn't go out there because the two Georges were suddenly friends. Okay, right. But now the parts about it for me that separated Van Tassel from Adamski was the detailed descriptions of his interaction and what he saw. So that's my take. Now, I'll stump the panel with you. What kind of pie did Van Tassel's wife bake? And what was she famous for? What was she famous for?
Jesus, you know what? I've read that story, and they never mentioned the type of pie.
Oh yeah, wait. Howard Hughes would fly out to Giant Rock for that pie.
Yes. I'm going to guess it was some sort of berry pie, but I would only be guessing.
Okay, so now you're guessing. Okay. Well, let's Giant Rock.
That proves, let me just say this proves the level of research. See, I know how much time it took you to find this story, and the fact that you know it better than I do, it should be evidence that anybody out there trying to troll Jimmy Church just needs to shut up and relax.
This is what a lot of researchers out there, I used to, when I would hang out with others that really knew the subject, right, and I would listen to them, and how do I? There are those out there that know a lot more than I do, but the thing is that I don't fake it. In other words, I have been researching for so long and have been reading for so long, since I was a little kid, and over and over and over again, if I knew a story, Eric, I would go back and read it again, or listen to somebody else's take on it, or I would read another book on it. I never stopped, and so it is so ingrained in me, and I could go pretty much into any version of any story and be able to hang in a conversation, and I don't care who the researcher is, and I do that because it's fun. Okay, I do that because it's fun, and I'm wanting to learn from everybody else too as well. But look, and I'm serious. My video collection that I had, videotape collection that I had on the subject was pretty extraordinary, and I could go in and pop them in and go. My books, I mean, oh my God, it just had so many books, and that's just what I did. I constantly read. When the internet came out, and I'm serious about this too, when the internet came out and I started to research there, most of it I had already done, right? You know what I mean? And so
I didn't realize this. See, I'm learning right now. I didn't know you knew as much as you did prior to becoming a paranormal talk show guy.
But this is I think this is what's most important. The reason why I mentioned this at the beginning of the show, I think it's important for everybody to just put everything into context a little bit. We need to go and put things into a solid view, because when I hear from somebody, we know as much about UFOs today as we did in 1970. That's a crazy thought. That's a crazy statement. We knew the same things that we did in 1980 and go back and watch In Search Of, or go back and watch the documentaries that were out back then, and there's plenty of them, and go and watch those, and they're innocent. It's really funny. It's just it's a really innocent way of looking at the world back then compared to what we know now and what we understand now. And we understand an awful lot. And so we are able to compare the UFO phenomenon with parallel worlds and with quantum theory and with the expansion of the universe and with the amount of planets that we know and exoplanets and the population of and how different theories that we had back then are completely juvenile compared to where we are today. We understand and know so much today. And I know that one of the things that the UFO hypothesis and the original versions of that and interstellar space travel at traveling at the speed of light simply did not occur. It just doesn't work that way. And when you go and you look at Lazar's drawings of the sport model or his description of the crafts, one of the things I always ask of anybody that has been on, I want to know, did you see a bedroom? Did you see a bed? Did you see a bed? I mean, because if you have a seat and a couple of controls, you're telling me that you spent 10,000 years at the speed of light crossing the universe and you didn't have a dining room table? Right? I'm just saying. Right? Do you understand? That is an innocent...
Real quickly, I'll shut up. There is a pattern I've noticed, and I'm sure you've noticed. If you go back to the 50s to now, and for me personally, the pattern is so obvious that anybody who does research, if they're not convinced after studying the patterns of 70 years, then they haven't done their research.
No, they haven't. And now, so today, talking, well, they had a mothership, and this is the scout ship that came off okay, let's go to the mothership. How did the mothership get here? It didn't travel at the speed of light. Now, if it did, then, and you go back to like the Rama version of the story from Arthur C. Clarke, where these ships are cities that are literally going in one direction forever. Right? Forever. Tens of thousands of years, populated by robots. And you have to think about it in that term, which we didn't do in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. We understand the amount of time, and if you and I were on a ship and we're traveling at the speed of light and we need to get somewhere, and it's when we talk about 10,000 light years, well, you're talking about 10,000 years at the speed of light. Most people don't understand what that actually means. So now we're dealing with oxygen, we're dealing with food, we're dealing with age, we're dealing with everything. You are not going to be there, right? You are going to have 10,000 generations of you removed that is going to arrive at that star, right? I mean, just some crazy amount of life would have to occur, even if you're traveling nearly at the speed of light, and you're calculating 10,000 years. That's not necessarily the amount of time on the ship, especially if you're just short of the speed of light. You need to look at it like that. So where's all the food? Where's all this? Where's that? Or are you just merely living on a microchip somewhere? And you're actually are a robot. So that's where this type of thought, this type of research is where we are today. And we understand those things. We didn't talk like this in 1995, 20 years ago. We didn't talk that way. We didn't talk. And
they weren't reptilians, the Greys, they were space brothers.
Well, now, so for them to get here, now it's a whole nother, I'm talking about us getting there. Now, them getting here, where we're talking about folding of space or, where it takes minutes to get here, traveling the bulk, traveling at these speeds, wormhole possibilities. These were not discussed in 1970. And we couldn't. So that's why I'm saying that today our research and our knowledge is way beyond where we were back then. So when somebody says, we don't understand, no, we do. We understand an awful lot. And I do. I explore all of these things. Rita will tell you, and you can ask her. You can ask her on your own. She'll tell you that I am constantly looking at physicists, astrophysicists, theoretical physicists, quantum theory, and different scientific views of the universe, of time, of our origins, of the expansion, of all of these ideas have to be studied for me to look at all of these other bigger questions that we have with UFOs and ET contact, because it all is part of it. And so I spend a great amount of time on that. I have to. And I want to be able to hang on a conversation with somebody like Riz Verk last night. Okay, so here I am dealing with UFOs or Egypt or history or all of these other things. And then I bring on Riz Verk, who graduated from MIT and Stanford and who understands computers, and I have to be able to hang in that conversation and ask the right questions and understand what he's talking about for you, not for me, right? If I didn't understand the subject, then last night's interview can't happen. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You do a great job. You do a great job.
I just love doing it. I love doing the research.
No, and I could tell your passion. That's why I love you, man. You're the best. I'm not just saying that to blow smoke. You are the best. I appreciate what everybody else is trying to do, but anyway, I got a 30-second story because I only got a minute left.
Actually, right? No. I have got 8 seconds. Okay. 8 seconds.
Right. Next week. Are you doing Fadernight next Thursday, or are you going to be gone that night?
I don't even know what next week is, but I'll announce it on Monday. How's that?
Okay. All right, brother.
You're getting way too far ahead of me. Thank you so much, Eric. Be safe and be well.
All right, brother. Bye.
Another great Fadernight right here, Eric, Awakening Man. Thank you to everybody that called in tonight. Twitter is absolutely fantastic. On Stellar, I've been hanging with everybody, trying to get it all done. And now on Monday, like I said, we'll announce this, but Monday quite possibly could be our biggest show ever. Rita has put together a barn burner. Our executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show's produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Hart, Gene Vitola, Mark D. Kovar, Webmaster Drew the Geek, music Doug Aldrich. Intro Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA The Planet. Thank you to Jon Rappoport and everybody who called and tweeted in tonight, and of course on Stellar.com. This broadcast is only copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Until Monday, I want everybody to have the most amazing, safe, fun, and incredible weekend. But until then, go back Lee Tepe.